Let's assume you're driving around. You ever got a flat tire? Well, perhaps you're lucky that this case occurred decades ago, in 1975. And it was dubbed the flat tire murders because it involved a person, or perhaps multiple people, who knows, that basically murdered a bunch of young women. One of the descriptions about the case came down to the idea that the perpetrator would deflate the victim's car wheels and then be like, hey, I can repair these for you. So that they, were like, hey, okay, yeah, do that for me, thanks. And then, as a way of payment, they would have to give their lives. That's basically what it came down to. So let me share with you the details they have on the wikis today. Now, they started this article out by saying the following. The first murder victim of the flat tire murderer was a 27-year-old respiratory therapist, Ronnie Sue Gording, who went missing on July 22, 1975, after leaving her Miami Beach apartment to visit her mother at Parkway Hospital. The next day, her body was found in the Graham Canal, with signs that she had been sexually assaulted and then stabbed to death. Her car, a rented burgundy white Oldsmobile Cutlass, was found in the shopping center parking lot with a slashed tire. 8 days later, 21-year-old Elise Repp, originally from New York City, left her apartment to go shopping and was last seen at a Hollywood mall in the evening before vanishing. Her car, a rented yellow Chevrolet Vega, was found in the mall's parking lot, also with a deflated tire. The day after, her body was found in the same canal where Gording's body was found earlier. Both women shared the characteristics of being found naked, except for a necklace with the Hebrew inscription for life around Repp's neck and a single sandal on one of Gordon's feet. Following a forensic autopsy, it was determined that Repp's cause of death was drowning, but she had been sexually assaulted prior to her death. In both of these cases, the killer had chosen young women who traveled in cars by themselves. In their absence, he had deflated their vehicle's tires, after which he waited for them to return and then offered them to fix their tires, presenting himself as a good Samaritan. They had the following to say about the investigation. After the discovery of Gordon and Repp's body, the police first suggested that there was a serial killer active in 2 counties. According to them, a total of 12 young women killed in South Florida might have been victims of the same offender. The first of them was 20-year-old Judith Ann Osterling from Indiana, who went missing on February 1st, 1975, from Miami-Dade County after returning home from her job at a massage parlor. 2 days later, her body was found in the canal bordering Broward and Miami-Dade. A few days after that, not far from where Osterling was found, the body of 17-year-old divorcee Ariada Tinker was found in the canal. Barbara Davis Stephenson, 21, the daughter of the president of Anchor Electronics Corporation, went missing on the evening of February 12th after she said she would travel to Coral Gables to visit a friend. Her car, a cream olive silver, was later found in a parking lot near the center of Miami, with her body later found on February 20th in a wooded lot. From May 1975 onwards, 4 other young women were found in the canals of Broward County. 19-year-old Nancy Fox from West Palm Beach, gone missing after going to a laundry in late May and was later found in Fort Lauderdale, apparently beaten to death with a blunt object. Barbara Susan Schreiber and Berlinda Darlene Zederer, both 14 and from Hollywood, were last seen going out on June 18th, and their bodies were found 2 days later on the bank of the canal, shot to death, but with no signs of rape. The final victim, 14-year-old Robin Leslie Losh, was found dead on July 11th in a canal about half a mile where Schreiber and Zederer's bodies were found. Unlike the other victims, she was fully clothed. The suspected perpetrator was described as a white male, aged 20 to 25, well dressed, physically athletic and attractive, possibly married, likely very intelligent with an above average IQ and a sexual sadist. Using his charm, he won the trust of potential victims, which he would lure to his car. A reward of $1,000 was announced for any information that would lead to his capture. According to Sergeant Edwin Colstert of Sonoma County, California, the flat tire murderer was possibly responsible for upwards of 30 murders across several states since the early 1970s, starting in California. After these killings abruptly ceased in December 1973, 9 similar murders were recorded in Washington the following year, but stopped in September. And after that, another spate of killings in which the perpetrator demonstrated a similar modus operandi to the killer in California and Washington. It occurred in Idaho, Utah, and Colorado. In most cases, the victims who physically resembled each other were beaten and raped before death, with the killer stripping their bodies and throwing them in canals, streams, or leaving them near embankments. A total of 35 such murders were recorded, which, according to this theory, were committed by the same man, but this has not been definitely proven. Subsequently, the list of possible victims included 15-year-old Mary Coppola and 27-year-old Marlene Annabelli, who had arrived in Fort Lauderdale from Pennsylvania on October 17, 1975, renting a room for a one-week stay at the Lauderdale Beach Club. Her body, strangled with a rope, was found by a motorcyclist 9 days later in a dump outside the city. The 12th and final supposed victim was 17-year-old Michelle Winters, whose body was found floating in the Snapper Creek in Pembroke Pines on January 11, 1976. She was last seen in early January in Fort Lauderdale with friends of the deceased, claiming that she had been depressed and planned to enlist in the Navy. Winter's mother told the police that her daughter had likely voluntarily entered her killer's car, as she often preferred to hitchhike. And then to end this article, they stated, "It has been suggested that notorious serial killer Ted Bundy could have been the culprit, but so far, no evidence has been recorded of him being present in Florida during this period. To this day, all the murders remain unsolved."